So I was working very early, like in New York, and being in the journalism space. And I was like, okay, I want to do journalism because it's like matched with social media, entertainment. While I was working for social media for all these different magazines, I was like, why don't I just do what I'm doing, but make it like Muslim, right? So I was doing like graphics and it just blew up really fast when I was in college because no one has ever seen posts talking about Muslims in a way that's like creative and but also creative. I had a friend that she was a good friend of mine in Seattle, and she went to Palestine to go volunteer. She's American, and then she was killed. We have a lot of correspondents on the grounds in Gaza that work for like all these mainstream media outlets. So our sources are coming directly from journalists. Like we were doing videos with them, and they were killed the next day. Yani. So like it's the nature of the work. Yeah, and people don't think about this, or even like this, like he didn't post for 3 days when he was in Gaza, so everyone thought he was killed. And so then because I have access and and then her sister calls me 10 minutes like after, 10-15 minutes after, Ameer, Aisha Noor was just killed. We don't know what to do. We need your help. Like
he started with a Tumblr blog and a family computer. By age 22, his work had made him the youngest person ever named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 list for media. Ameer Al-Khatahtbeh didn't stop there. With grant support from the prestigious Knight Foundation and partnerships like his storytelling project with the Asian American Journalists Association, he built his platform, Muslim, from a college dorm room into the most trusted news source for millions. He saw a world where Muslim stories were being told by everyone except Muslims, and he dedicated his life to changing that. But becoming the go-to voice for a global community comes with a reality no one sees. He's the first call during a crisis, the one who has to break devastating news, and the journalist who carries the weight of our stories. On this episode of Rise, Ameer pulls back the curtain. He shares what it truly costs to be the source so many rely on, and the personal moments that have defined his mission. This is the story behind the headline. This is Rise.
One thing that is undervalued, underutilized, and feels temporary, and sometimes even transactional, is the way we do events. That's why we built Figmo, to help organizers to turn events into real communities and build lasting relationships without losing control of their data or cost. But we realized something even more powerful. The real magic isn't in the tools, but in the stories. So we started Rise, where we meet with organizers, founders, and community leaders to uncover what happens behind the scene. The ups and downs, the struggles, the impact, and what they have learned throughout the years. These stories are too good to keep to yourself. So please join our community on Figmo, subscribe to Rise on YouTube, and share. Enjoy.
العزة للأقصى ولأهل غزة. It's really nice to meet you here at the Thrive Summit.
Thanks for having me.
You made the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. You were the youngest. But before we get there, how did this whole thing begin?
For my company or for how I made it onto Forbes?
Basically, what was the spark? What made Ameer start?
Alhamdulillah. Well, I mean, for me, I always had a passion for social media. My dad, he owns a video game store. That's our family business.
Okay.
So we had the first internet cafe in Jersey Shore.
Okay.
And I was exposed to the computer and technology at a very young age. So I'm like this very unique case because I'm Gen Z. I was born in 1998, but I got to experience every transition of technology from like the big box computers like AOL dial-up to like floppy disks to like MySpace to like Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So I was very chronically online because I had access to it at a very early age. Alhamdulillah, to the benefit of like the work that I do, because now like, you know, in high school, I had like a very like popular blog for myself on a social media app called Tumblr. And then when I went to college, I just knew I wanted to do something in like social media sphere. And freshman year of college, I applied for a social media job when I was 18 for a prominent magazine. But yeah, when I was 18 in college, I applied for a prominent magazine to do their social media, and I had no resume because I was fresh into college. But in the cover letter, I talked about how I was like on social media, and I had a big blog on Tumblr at the time. And they just were like, "Oh, let's do an interview with them." They did an interview with me, and I like pulled out like a binder and I showed them. I was like, "I think on Monday and Thursdays you guys don't get good engagement, but then on Friday you have really good like engagement. When you do posts like this, it's not good. When you do posts like this, it's very good. So I would do more posts like this." And they were like, so then they hired me at 18 and I had no resume, no nothing. So I was working very early, like in New York, and being in the journalism space. And I was like, okay, I want to do journalism because it's like matched with social media, entertainment, and like writing and all of this. And it's like everything that I like loved. And so then while I was working for social media for all these different magazines, I was like, why don't I just do what I'm doing, but make it like Muslim, right? So I was doing like graphics and news and all of this. And I was like, it occurred to me, I'm like, Donald Trump, he got elected, he's imposing a Muslim travel ban. It was a big conversation, but like no Muslims were able to like tell their stories. So I said, why don't we make social media so then we're able to like utilize it? And it just blew up really fast when I was in college because no one has ever seen posts talking about Muslims in a way that's like creative and but also creative because like now you see a lot of people making like different like aesthetics and graphics and stuff like that, but we were like first. It was like the right opportunity, right time and place, you know. Alhamdulillah, it just grew really fast because we were the first. And yeah, I launched at junior year of college, and since then it's been full time.
Was it mainly you doing the design?
You just saw me do a post. Like,
well, the post, but I mean the creativity. If you're creating something, I mean, you're just every single piece of content that's
the reason why we were delayed in recording. I was making a post on my phone.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No one has ever posted on Muslim besides me. No one has ever created anything on Muslim besides me. Like everything is Muslim. Me.
Muslim focused. The topic, the news, everything's just basically about
It's about stories that impact the Muslim community. So even like when Donald Trump got elected or arrested, like that was Muslim news because he plays an important role in like, the Muslim community, you know? So any story, like even when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, like a few weeks ago, people came to us because they want to know what we think about it so then they could form an opinion. We kind of became like your Muslim best friends, or like we became like trendsetters for the Muslim community. Alhamdulillah.
So what's your process to gather this information and even verify it?
I have a lot of processes. I work with a lot of journalists. Like I'm a journalist myself, so I'm in like a lot of group chats with like people that work at Al Jazeera. We have a lot of correspondents on the grounds in Gaza that work for like all these mainstream media outlets. So our sources are coming directly from journalists on the grounds covering news stories. And we utilize we're like partners with a lot of journalists and organizations. So that's kind of like the main factor of like where we get like our sources and information. Every day there's a story that shocked me. Like even like the most jarring thing that happened to me that was very unique, and it's unique in my position because with my work, I know every Muslim, or I'm like a degree of separation from any Muslim. Like even royalty, even like someone that's like down the street, if I tell them to open up their phone and put Muslim, if they don't follow, at least someone they know follows, yani. But like I had a friend that she was a good friend of mine in Seattle, and she went to Palestine to go volunteer. She's American, and then she was killed in the West Bank by like a sniper, and she's an American girl. And this happened last year, and then 15 minutes after it happened, the whole social media feed is like photos of like her bloody body. And then her sister calls me 10 minutes like after, 10-15 minutes after. Ameer, Aisha Noor was just killed. We don't know what to do. We need your help. Like everybody's posting like these bloody photos. What can we do? We're here in Seattle. I was like, okay. And it just was like,
SubhanAllah.
Okay, I'm going to connect you to this person. We're going to do like a press conference. And then immediately right now I need a photo of her. So like when I cover the news story, it'll drown out like the feed. And also I have a group chat of all these journalists. So like send me a photo of her. So then when I send it to all the journalists, I tell them, hey guys, this is a breaking news story. American citizen killed in the West Bank. Use this photo. And it was a very, 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 very viral story last year. And it was crazy because it's like this was my friend, but I couldn't even like think about it at the moment. I had to like jump into like, okay, I have to cover this breaking news story. And then I also had to like facilitate that breaking news story for all these journalists. And even like Mehdi Hassan from Zeteo, like he asked me to like write about it because I was the only one that had access because I was friends with her and her family to communicate with them to write her like a article about her story. But it's like a very unique scenario that like I was put in because of the nature of my work. But there was even like a time I was talking to someone in Gaza and they died the next day. They were killed the next day. Like we were doing videos with them and they were killed the next day. So like it's the nature of the work, and people don't think about this. Or even like this like famous journalist, Motaz Aziza, when he's on the grounds in Gaza, we have connection with him and he has like millions of followers. He didn't post for 3 days when he was in Gaza, so everyone thought he was killed. And so then because I have access and I like went on WhatsApp and I'm like talking to him, I tell him like, hey, like people thought like you're dead, like what's going on? He's like, they bombed the cell tower, so I can't even upload to like update people. So I said, oh, like I heard about like an eSIM card. Like how about I send you an eSIM and you can like connect to the internet? I was able to give him like a eSIM card and he was able to continue covering when he was in Gaza. And it was because we had that access to him. Yani.
So given that you're being here and what you have been through right now, what do you think we need the most as a community? How can we build that community on the local level and on a bigger level? Well, what is it we need, you think?
There's different ways to build community. For me, I'm doing it through media, but people can do it through tech. They can do it for other means. I think that's such a broad question because like everyone has a role to play in what they're doing. So like everyone is doing their part, and they are in the community, you know. For it to be connected, that's why there's events like this that are needed, because it connects everybody from like different spheres. You need to connect with one another.
Got it.
Yeah.
What would be the one advice you would give to the young generation right now?
Well, I mean, you have to find your purpose and your passion, and that can look like, for me, it's like I liked social media, I like graphics, I like videos, I like journalism, I like writing, and like for me, I just use all of that and I attach it to a purpose of something that is like beneficial to the ummah, and that's like centering it around Muslim news coverage. So I'm using like the skill that Allah has provided for me, and then I associated it with a purpose to serve. And once you have that, like you are unstoppable, you know, because Allah's on your side. He's protecting you, He's guiding you, He's giving you all these resources because you're doing it with the intention.
Right.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Got it. The one thing that I wanted to actually ask, the nature of the content that we are consuming right now. While we have a lot of content that just blows our mind away, as far as it's just very irrelevant to us, but on top of all of that, when now AI comes into play and we see all of those fake AI content that being produced at a very large scale. Now, how can we deal with this? How can we get our focus
I don't
back?
know, because we're dealing with it right now. We're trying to find solutions for this. It's a problem that I'm facing right now. There's no solution for it right now. You just have to go back to your fact checker roots, you know? Feel like literally like manually like fact check things.
I see.
At least for like my nature of work for stories.
Can you give any examples that you have been going through right now as far as
it just happened like 2 weeks ago. Like we published a photo of like the flotilla, and someone on the flotilla called me immediately, was like, hey, that's actually an AI photo. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And all these news outlets are covering it. So it's like we're still dealing with this issue with like AI and news coverage, Yani. So it's a new problem that we're trying to figure out.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Ameer, it was really, really nice meeting you today.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you so much for being with us and for all the things that you have been doing for us so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.